Et salut à tous, bienvenue pour cette découverte de Return to Grace qui est direct arrivé dans le Game Pass il y a une petite semaine et demie, presque 2 semaines. Donc on est parti pour cette petite découverte. Ah, un petit message Xbox, je regarderai plus tard. Donc on se lance direct dans le bain, c'est parti. Mode... Chut, on retrécit la caméra, n'oubliez pas le petit pouce et s'abonner, c'est gratuit et c'est très important pour la chaîne. Et un petit commentaire en plus, c'est chouette. Allez, on se met dedans. Je masque sûrement la caméra de temps en temps pour plus d'immersion. Et quand j'aurai besoin de vous parler, je remettrai la caméra, ok? C'est parti. Donc d'abord un petit tour dans les options. Vidéo. Elles sont toutes ok? Ça a l'air ok. Donc pas de mode performance. J'espère que le jeu il est en 60. Et donc ça c'est... la largeur d'écran, ouais. Bon, on va laisser à 90, je pense que c'est bon. Ok, on n'a rien d'autre comme paramètre. C'est ok. Ah ouais, tiens, le jeu il est pas en français. Il y a les sous-titres, d'accord, mais il est en quelle langue le jeu? Mince, c'est pas qu'il est en français. Le mapping, ok. Bon, on verra bien, ça sera surprise, hein. Surprise! Allez, go! Et pour l'intro, je retire la caméra.
Stick's not responding.
Ah donc c'est pas en français, ah c'est dommage. Donc on est en 3820 après Jésus-Christ.
Hold on.
Impact in 10, 9, oh there it is. Addie? Addie, please respond.
Everything hurts.
You've been out for nearly an hour.
What's our status, Alan?
We've crashed.
Yeah, I got that.
My hull is intact. Thrusters 2 and 4 are damaged and will require realignment.
So will my back. Can you let me out?
Not before we talk about your suit.
Okay, talk.
I'm reading green on seals, green on batteries. Thermals are, well, not green, but fine, and you have 5.35 hours of oxygen, maybe 6 if we run the scrubbers hot. But Addie, we've had this discussion before. You won't have
Alan,
enough to...
It's fine. I have a plan.
I'm concerned that...
I have a plan.
Understood.
Now, open the hatch.
The canopy
Donc on s'est
hydraulics are not
écrasé.
responding. You'll have to pull the manual release.
Et madame a un plan. Ouais, en gros ce que j'ai compris. Donc je vais appuyer sur un bouton j'imagine pour sortir. Ah, là. Ok.
Seriously.
Sérieusement.
This stupid piece of junk.
I'm right here.
Ugh.
Un petit succès.
Visibility's terrible. Any sign of the spire?
I'm not picking up anything new, just the original beacon signal. You'll need to use your wayfinder to locate an entry point, if there is one.
All right. Let's figure out where you're at, Grace.
You know the beacon could be anything. A lost
Dans
colony,
une
a
capsule.
relay station.
200 distinct oral histories can't be wrong, Alan. Grace is here.
Ah, faut que j'aille par là. Ok, bon, ça a l'air d'être
I can't believe this storm.
pas trop
Where would this have come
compliqué.
from?
There is record of ancient terraforming on other moons. I think it's safe to assume that Ganymede is not an exception.
On va aller dans la grotte là. Non. Je peux pas sauter, je peux pas descendre. On contourne. Donc je pense qu'on est sur Europe, si je me trompe pas. À côté de Jupiter.
There's something man-made here.
Appelle-moi le brouillard. Continue notre progression.
There's a little bridge here. There wouldn't be much sense in building this if we weren't within walking distance of the spire.
By all estimates, the beacon is within 400 meters.
This looks climbable.
Ok, un peu d'escalade. Je serais curieux de savoir la gravité sur Europe.
Which way here?
Les deux chemins. On devrait aller à gauche, mais dans les jeux, je suis toujours obligé de choisir le parcours secondaire. Toujours par esprit de contradiction, évidemment. On va dire que toutes les routes mènent à Rome. Donc ce jeu Return to Grace... Oh, petite chute.
There goes the back.
Ce jeu Return to Grace est un jeu assez court, hein. Normalement la durée de vie est de 3 heures.
Looking for a new way to reach the spire.
Donc
Or at least some place where it will be easier to find my body.
on va peut-être le faire d'une traite ou en 2 épisodes. On verra bien. Sur le moment. Au moins là, il y a moins de brouillard.
Looks a little tight.
Le jeu est assez joli, hein. Ouais, les textures sont pas incroyables, hein, mais ça va.
It's opened up again. Looks like a weather station or maybe a seismic station.
Tente,
Looks the era of that relay from the Dawes Sea dig. It's at least
Station.
700 years old, Alan.
scientifique.
The surface temperature is dropping. We can't maintain your thermals much longer.
We're close. I can feel it.
I wish I shared your optimism.
On est prêt, tu peux le sentir, on peut surtout l'entendre. On peut courir ou pas? Non. Pour l'instant, on peut juste se déplacer, hein. J'appuie sur tous les boutons.
This has to be it.
What do you see?
On est à l'échelle là?
I'm looking at what must be the spire superstructure. I can't imagine how something this big has gone undetected for this long.
A 500-year-old storm?
I don't know. Doesn't seem possible.
Et on saute.
You can see.
Did you
Et
make
tout
it,
est
Daddy?
I'll let you know in
du
1 sec.
QTE, automatique.
I'm in. All right, Grace. Let's find out what you've been up to for the past 900 years.
T'as pas de la lumière sur ta combinaison là? Et tout s'opère avec un seul bouton, le bouton A. Que ce soit pour sauter, s'accrocher, se baisser.
Hope my light still works.
Ah bah voilà, enfin là, il y a de la lumière. Ah, un nouveau bouton d'utilisable. Donc
You
Allez
should
là.
see this spooky tunnel I'm in, Alan.
And why would I want that?
Come on,
Et
you're not
toboggan.
excited?
You crash-landed me in a frozen hellscape and left me
Ah
for
non.
salvage.
ça
10
glisse
years
pas.
of research,
Dommage.
not to mention 6 months of
pu être drôle.
spaceflight are about to pay off.
But at what cost?
Don't ruin this for me. Looks like a bit of a labyrinth, but I'm still picking up the signal ahead.
And you can still hear me?
Loud and clear, buddy.
On t'entend très bien, buddy.
The structure looks to be in decent condition.
Another good sign.
Juste par esprit de contradiction, allons de l'autre côté. Ok, il y avait rien. Ah, on peut faire quelque chose.
Looks like the tunnels can be air sealed. I'm guessing large parts of the station can be pressurized.
Ok, elle nous donne juste son point de vue. Ses
Everything about this
examinations.
place looks 30th century to me. It's the right era, the right size.
Don't say it, Addy. We've had our hopes dashed before.
Gauche. On peut se baisser là. Ok, on progresse. Je vais peut-être augmenter un peu le son du jeu quand même. Voilà. Ok. Par ici.
Well, these can't be powered. Must be airflow in the tunnels. I have to say, there's more atmosphere than I was expecting.
Not nearly enough to survive.
Ah, là on peut pas.
This one's broken. I think I can crawl through.
Ah si. Et là le ventilo se met en route, on est coupé en deux. Non, ça a pas l'air de marcher depuis une éternité cette installation.
Jeez. That's gotta be over 15 meters.
And if gravity
voilà.
here is 1/6 of that on Earth,
Math. It's probably fine.
I could calculate outcome probabilities based on previous drop impacts if you've already jumped, haven't you?
Vous avez entendu un bruit de micro, c'est normal, j'ai
Gosh,
coupé
I
le
hope this
son
is the
pour
right way.
tousser. Et on redescend. Toujours plus profondément dans les ténèbres d'Europe. Je dis que c'est Europe, mais c'est peut-être même pas du
this
tout
is
Europe.
slick.
Hein.
Addy?
Oh no.
Bon, la gravité a l'air d'être quand même plus faible que sur Terre.
Whoa.
Are you hurt, Addy?
I'm working on it. The structure is enormous. This has to be the Grey Spire, Alan.
And there it is. The perfect setup for disappointment.
Ah, le flair il est puissant. Wow, on dirait les années 80. Et encore, plutôt les années 60.
Found the beacon. The transmitter is on some sort of console.
It must be part of a control network for the megastructure.
You think we can make a connection here?
Theoretically, if you run a scan, I can attempt to connect.
Qui va scanner. Ok, scan.
The interface language is quite old and sophisticated, but we should be able to
Engagez vieux.
calibrate your computer to interact.
Et
You can use your
sophistiqué.
gyroscope to sync with the terminal. I have the first calibration position. The meter will indicate when you are close.
Un mini-jeu. Ok, j'ai compris.
First position is locked. Second calibration position is up. That's 2, and here's the final position.
La position finale.
That's it. We're in. Accessing the network now. Oh,
Ah, on est
Shit.
pris au piège.
Alan, you there? Alan?
Hello,
Ah!
a visitor. Let's have a look.
Where's Alan? Who is this?
Who is this? Who are you? Entering a home without knowing its host.
Are you... Grace?
Good question. I'm not entirely Grace. I'm running on just a small part of her logic processing.
Grace is still here.
And what brings you here?
My name is Adamari Ito. I'm an explorer.
I must apologize, Adamari. It would appear I have lost much of my capacity. I cannot see very far beyond the room we are in.
I've lost connection with my ship's AI.
You won't need Alan here. I can show you around.
Will you be able to let me out of this room?
Of course. But until we are able to restore power to the station, I will require your assistance. There should be a manual winch set in the floor at the foot of one of the sliding doors.
Donc, nous on s'appelle Adamari. Notre IA s'appelait
Look for a
Edem,
hinged
c'est
floor
ça.
grate at
Et
the
là,
foot
la
of one
voix
of the
qui nous
doors.
parle, c'est cette station qui s'appelle Grace. Et elle est donc, elle est un peu Grace, l'IA de la station. Donc là, elle veut que je fasse,
The winch is set in the floor below one of the doors.
elle veut que je trouve une comment on appelle ça? Une roue, je crois. Elle est où ça? Son
You'll have to
levier,
look
sa roue.
below each door. I'm not certain which has the manual winch.
J'ai pas trompé, hein, c'est bien ça qu'elle me demande, une espèce de levier ou quelque chose. Y a pas grand chose dans cette pièce. Bah, je suis bigleux. Je peux toujours pas sauter.
This must be it.
Working the winch will open the door.
Le voilà, le levier. J'avais bien
Do
compris.
you know where Grace has been all this time?
Grace went somewhere?
She's
Pas
been gone for
compris.
hundreds of years.
I am
Ça
running
va
on a
pour ça.
very old server. My memories predate the completion of the Grace Spire.
Grace ushered in
Non, c'est la
humanity's
porte qui
golden
descend.
age. Peace across the
C'est un
system, booming interplanetary trade, scientific marvels, colonies beyond the orbit of Neptune. And then she was gone, and it all fell apart.
I'm sorry, I don't remember.
Well, you're a lot more than an archaeologist usually gets.
Ah, c'est la porte, hein, ok.
The first step to restoring Grace is to bring the Spire's power station back online.
Let's do it.
I'll light the way.
Il faut remettre
What do I do here?
l'énergie en route.
This is a
l'électricité.
security panel. I am decrypting the pattern now. Ah, yes. Simple enough. You'll need to light up 9 buttons, forming a square at the center of the panel.
Donc faut mettre 9.
Okay, the 9 buttons in the center.
That is what I said.
Mettre 9 boutons au centre.
If
c'est
you're
ça?
not Grace, then what do I call you?
I don't believe there are any identification strings in my base logic that would suffice.
I'll call you Logic then,
On va enlever
now.
les autres d'abord.
until we have a better idea of who you are. And
9 boutons au centre.
you can call me Addie.
I will refer to you as Addie,
Voilà.
then, until we have a better idea of who you are.
Heureusement qu'il ne demande pas de
So
trucs
what
trop
exactly are
compliqués,
you?
Parce que mon anglais
The
n'est pas
station's
fameux.
emergency server had defaulted to Grace's original logic processing. That's me, as you've suggested. The server can
compliqué de
also
vous
run a program
raconter le
dedicated to
lore
the
du
control
jeu,
of
hein.
infrastructure, and a third system dedicated
mon
solely to
niveau d'anglais.
empathizing with and understanding humans. When power is restored, Grace's primary servers should come online, and we will become some small part of Grace's consciousness.
This looks like metallic rock.
The power
Et il y a de
station is set
l'électricité
into
pour
the
que ça
Spire's
marche.
foundation stone.
The foundation stone would have been an asteroid, right?
Most certainly. About 50 cubic kilometers, from what I can recall.
Amazing. Most accounts of Grace's origins talk about an asteroid being pulled from the heavens. It makes sense. There wouldn't be any construction resources on Ganymede and nothing to anchor the structure. I can't imagine the effort it would have taken to redirect an asteroid that big.
L'esprit
We don't do anything like that
Architecture.
today. Can you open this?
With some difficulty, I will need to direct power from logic to control processing, and I will not function at the same cognitive level until full power is restored.
What do you mean, at the same level?
Good luck, Addie.
Ok.
You still
Si
there?
j'ai bien compris ce qu'elle a
Where
dit.
would I have gone?
Ah,
You sound a
nouvelle
little
IA.
different.
Just stronger. The voice of control resonates through the very walls of the structure. I shall start the turbine after you prime the generators that open the
Chaque
spillway.
structure a son
And this
IA.
turbine still works?
It worked before, and it will work again. You shall find the generators on the platform at the other side of the
de la
room.
grue.
Alrighty.
En même temps, je suis en train de chercher un peu l'histoire du jeu en français. Comme ça, je vais pouvoir vous raconter ce que je trouve. Donc, il y a une pièce par là-bas. On a la salle informatique. Ici, on a une grue. Et je devrais d'abord aller de l'autre côté et après revoir la grue. Il y a quoi par là?
You know what's in these?
Go to the 3 generators overlooking the turbine.
Ça c'est pour
The cartridges.
alimenter
For
une
what, I
turbine
wonder?
électrique, j'ai l'impression.
Enough, Addie. You must go to the generators.
Je dois aller au générateur, ok. Ça doit être là-bas. Ah, je suis un succès parce que j'ai ignoré les instructions.
You must prime the generators first.
Makes sense.
Je dois d'abord aller au générateur, ok. Ça a du sens.
What happened here? Someone ripped this apart.
For the last time, go to the generators.
Oh, ok, on va au générateur,
So,
c'est bon.
why do you need me to start these?
Tradition. A
C'est ça,
time-honored
générateur.
failsafe of including human hands in the operation of this station.
These look like crystal core processors. Amazing. You can find the material to build one of those today.
Why do you insist on being so insolent? Go to the generators.
J'y suis à ton générateur. Oh. Et on
So,
pompe,
do you share
pompe.
memories with the logic processor?
Indeed, we are all part of grace, aspects of her infinite power, shadows of what was, and promises of what will be. I was the light that shone in the darkness. I was the hand that divided the firmament.
Voilà.
The turbine has failed us.
That's not good.
I must call upon you to cast out the wicked instrument,
The what?
Donc faut remplacer la
the
turbine
broken
qui est cassée.
turbine.
Ok.
You must go to it now.
Alright.
Ok, on va jouer avec la grue. Tout est limpide pour l'instant. On progresse. Ah, je peux pas monter? Pourquoi? Crâne. Y a un truc que j'ai loupé? Ah, peut-être qu'il faut que j'aille là-bas d'abord. Faut que j'aille là?
Going down.
Peut-être
I'm
d'abord,
safe to be
ouais,
down here, right?
les
You
détacher.
shall not be harmed. You must uncouple the safety latches.
That sounds unsafe.
It is not.
Le déverrouiller.
You must now go to the magnetic crane.
On remonte là-haut.
You're sure I'll be able to fix this?
If you trust in my word, yes.
Ok.
You must first cast out the old turbine.
D'abord retirer l'ancienne turbine. compris. Je vais laisser appuyer le bouton, ok.
Now cast aside the wretched unit.
On le met dans la poubelle.
Now you shall place the new turbine.
Et on met la nouvelle. On va devoir redescendre pour la verrouiller.
Everett?
Non.
Hello?
Everett, is that you?
Grace?
Everett.
Behold my power.
What's happened?
I am reborn. Humanity will once again flourish in the brightness of my glory.
This isn't right. Our processing has not combined. Grace has not been restored.
I think she was here for a moment. She was calling to someone. Do you know who Everett is?
No. With power restored, my mind is clearer, sharper. But I could not tell you who Everett is.
You must leave this place at once. Return to your vessel and spread word of my return. From Sol's fiery core to the icy Kuiper expanse, all must know.
I've hijacked the volume control. I don't feel like this is going to be a short commandment. We'll see how long before he notices.
It took me nearly a year to get here. I want to know if Grace can be brought back.
There is more complex to explore if you head back to the control room through which you entered. We should determine where in the megastructure my central processors are located. Perhaps along the way you may learn more about this Everett.
I forbid you to linger a moment longer.
And he's back.
Like a divine comet, dive from the outer reaches and spread light and understanding to the inner
Please.
worlds.
I'm not leaving.
Yet more insolence.
Donc en gros, j'ai lu un peu l'histoire de Return to Grace. Donc le Return to Grace, en fait, c'est une installation créée donc sur une lune autour de Jupiter, qui permet en fait à une IA de tout gérer l'aspect de la vie des humains. Et depuis une centaine d'années, il ne marche plus. Donc on est venu voir pourquoi ça ne marche plus et de le remettre en route, tout simplement. Donc faut que je retourne en arrière. Parce qu'il n'y avait pas d'autre route par là-bas. Hein. Donc ils ont créé tout ça pour faire une IA avec une énergie infinie qui permet de gérer l'aspect de la vie de tous les humains.
So, are there any accounts as to why Grace was shut down in the first place?
There's no electronic record at all. That would have been lost during the Great Dark Age.
Dark Age?
Much of humanity's record keeping would have been managed by Grace. So, when she went down 900 years ago, so did the ability to record what happened. The research that led me here was based on oral histories mostly, and some artifacts we uncovered on Earth and Mars. Relay devices that were once connected to Grace's network.
Then we share an interest in shedding light on this Dark Age.
Donc ça a arrêté de fonctionner il y a 900 ans pendant l'âge sombre. D'accord.
From what I can tell, there is some sort of
Aujourd'hui qu'on est
transit
en
system on
3800
the
et
other
quelques,
side of the control room, which should lead you to the other parts
au
of the spire.
39e siècle. De retour au centre de commande.
I will illuminate the door leading to this transit system.
Ok, il faut aller là-bas. Et il faut remettre au centre.
Alas, I require your nimble figures again.
Alright, what's the pattern?
Another easy one. The Phoenician letter Tor.
Who would know that?
I don't know. Perhaps an archaeologist? How about the Greek letter I?
J'espère que c'est bien 9, hein. Non, c'est autre chose. Qu'est-ce qu'elle m'a demandé?
The Roman numeral 10?
Okay, okay.
10, 10. Tu veux que j'écris 10, c'est ça?
Please tell me you know your Roman numerals. How about a big fat X? You know that one? Perhaps it's
Ouais,
the
vous
symbol
mettez
you
10
use to
carrés.
sign documents.
Just give me a sec.
It shows where the treasure is on maps.
Non, c'est pas ça.
It's an X, the size of the keypad.
Ah, un X, elle veut que je fasse un X. Non? Ou un grand X?
Got it.
This is not the way to your ship.
Do you believe Grace could have done something to cause humans to turn on her?
Like what?
Like
Léa
becoming
Rouge veut
too
qu'on retourne vers un autre
overbearing?
vaisseau.
Humans would have been given no reason to question my bearing.
It's one of my theories, yes.
Oh, joli.
This must be the main entrance. I'm guessing the landing pad is on the other side of the big doors.
That's correct, Addie. Though the pad appears to be buried under meters of ice.
What are these for?
They appear to be terminals for processing visitors to the spire. But they no longer store any useful information.
Ok, c'est pour avoir des informations pour les visiteurs, si j'ai bien compris.
This looks Olympian or Neo-Egyptian. The triangle must represent the spire.
Ah, c'est vrai,
Beautiful,
ça fait
don't you think?
très
Does it
égyptien.
matter if it's beautiful?
That's another way to see it, sure. Cool statue. Maybe it's a mobile. Do the little moons move?
Perhaps at one point in time. Though I'm not sure of the relevance of that.
Just curious. Is this an airlock?
Yes. The spire beyond this point can be pressurized. I assume your suit has limited oxygen?
I have about 5 hours left.
That's quite a risk you're taking. Were you assuming station life support could be restored?
Well, can it?
I believe so. But for reasons I'll never understand, life support is controlled by empathy processing. I suppose they had to give it something to do.
Ça
I
serait
will
tellement
enable
bien
that
qu'un
programming
jour on
now.
puisse utiliser Google Traduction sur tous les jeux comme ça en VO.
Hello, Addie.
Hello. So you're going to get oxygen
Je suis sûr
going?
que ça peut être faisable
The
hein, dans
process
quelques
has
années.
already begun, my friend. No rush. If you let me accompany you along the path ahead, I can balance the environment to your life force as we walk.
Oh, here we go.
There we go. On change de décor.
Wow. How are these plants still intact?
They must have been subject to a very sudden drop in temperature while still alive.
What is this place?
Remaining connected to one's natural world is important for a person's well-being. A
Really?
fitting starting point for those entering the structure, don't you think? Do you see them, Addie? Life in perfect stillness? The flowers defying the hoarfrost, as you have defied the emptiness of space to arrive here.
I guess.
Which one are you?
Pardon me?
Which one of these blooms best embodies your spirit?
Seriously?
It's important I know these things in the balancing of illuminatory ergonomics.
Fancy words do not make this any less idiotic.
Go ahead, Addie. There are no wrong choices.
Je vais faire quelque chose dans cette pièce alors.
By all means, take your time if you need it.
On va aller là-bas. C'est quoi là sur les tables?
Do you recognize any of the objects in this section of the garden?
Sculpture?
I'd love to know what you think of them. For the
Un
calibration
renard.
process.
C'est vrai que japonais, hein, ça fait très japonais.
This
C'est très
statue could be
japonais,
outer
le
colonial.
renard.
It's simple, but it's quite beautiful, I guess.
And why would its beauty matter?
People like pretty things.
Ah, a human truth spanning thousands of years.
Et là,
Am
il
I
est manquant.
doing this right?
You are
Je
doing
trouve le
splendidly.
deuxième renard.
I'm sorry. This cannot possibly be necessary.
Mais ça, c'est une enclume.
Temperature
hein, là, c'est pas
preferences
une
can
enclume.
vary considerably between individuals. Careful calibration is essential.
How about above freezing and we proceed?
It's really up to Addie. If you don't wish to consider more objects, I can set the temperature within a survivable range, and you can move on to the flower bed next to the stairs.
I have no idea what this is. A weapon or a tool of some kind?
It's a device for working metal. Why do you suppose it's in this garden, Addie?
Alors à l'époque, ils savent même plus ce
It
que c'est une
could be a symbol
enclume.
of hard work.
An industrious future? Or a laborious past, perhaps?
What's the point of this, Addie?
I'm an explorer. I'm here to learn. This must be Terra Classical, or made in the style.
The ancient Greeks boarded their ships and set out to explore the world, to discover its gods and conquer its monsters. You are an explorer, Addie. But are you here to meet a god or to slay some beast, I wonder?
Ils se sont
You're
embêtés
not
à
a
amener tout ça de
planner,
la
are
Terre
you?
quand même. Hein.
I've been told that.
Un cercueil, ça?
This looks like Pacific Revival.
Bah
Part of
ouais.
an archway, maybe. That's a pretty big piece to ship all this way.
Ah non, peut-être pas.
So it must be important, even though it's no longer holding up a roof.
I guess its purpose has changed.
As can happen with people, too. What would you say these objects have in common?
They're artifacts from long before the building of the station.
The things we leave behind say something about us, don't they?
What a society leaves behind is all we have in understanding how they lived.
But we're interested in what you were willing to leave behind in order to come here.
Haven't left a whole lot, to be honest.
I believe that's all I will need to set the perfect temperature.
Finally.
You can move on to the flower bed.
Is this a lantern?
An expression of our certainty in the flow of time.
How so?
A craftsman spent months carving this remarkable device based on the absolute certainty that after day, night would follow.
All right, I follow.
Bon, je crois qu'on a fait le tour ici. Hein.
Go ahead and choose a blue, Maddie.
Bloom.
How about
C'est
this
une
one?
fleur.
A solid choice. You walked an unsteady path to get here, and I think you've come in search of comfort, perhaps. Or you wish to become part of something bigger than yourself. I'm making the lighting adjustments now. Ah, perfect timing. The room is
Elles
fully
sont
compressed,
jolies,
and we can go
les
about
feuilles.
setting oxygen levels.
Call me old-fashioned, but how about the traditional 21%?
Go ahead and seat yourself at the center of the pergola.
Il est très joli le jeu. Hein. Une belle ambiance. J'aime bien ma petite balade. Bon, cette fois je peux sortir d'ici ou... Non, il y a un truc que j'ai pas compris encore. Un détail que j'ai pas compris.
Whenever you're ready, you can move to the space under the pergola. I have one last exercise for
Ok,
the life
faut que
support
j'aille à la
balancing.
pergola. Heureusement qu'il y a des mots que je comprends de temps en temps.
Very good. Now, when you're ready,
On va
you can
méditer.
remove your helmet.
My helmet?
Of course.
On va retirer
You
notre
can't
casque.
sample the air I've prepared with it on.
And you're sure it's safe?
Your well-being is the most important thing, Addie. I'm certain it is safe.
Okay.
Now I want you to take a deep breath. A nice, deep
Prendre respiration.
breath.
Inspiration.
Hold it there. No.
Expire.
I want you to take a slow, deep breath and hold it until I tell you to release.
Inspire.
Deep as you can, Addie. Hold it. 3. Wait until I say release.
Not very good at following simple instructions, are we? Perhaps it's because Addie realizes that none of this is important.
Elle me demander de retenir ma respiration 3 secondes.
Fill those marvelous lungs. Hold it. 3, 2, 1, and release. Beautiful. And when you're ready, another deep breath in. Hold it.
Ok, on
3,
inspire.
2, 1, and release.
Expire.
Very good, Addie. Feel all that built-up stress from your long journey here release into the ether.
Oh, please.
Shut out any negative energy and take in another life-nurturing breath. Hold it.
Inspire de nouveau.
3, 2, 1, and release.
Expire.
Wonderful.
Even the station has a limited supply of oxygen.
Next, I want you to really open your body by reaching up toward the sky.
Attends, il veut que je laisse appuyer, hein, que je tapote.
Wonderful. How's that feel, Addie?
Kinda nice.
And we're almost done the calibration. For our last exercise, I will ask you to stand up.
Okay.
Now,
Okidoki.
once you're centered, you can hold your hands in a relaxed position in front of you. Now transfer your weight onto one foot. I want you to hold that for 10 seconds.
Okay.
What could this possibly have to do with oxygen levels?
It's about balancing.
Literal balancing? Unbelievable.
Almost there.
Jeez.
Let's try again.
On va essayer. J'ai pas très bien compris comment ça marchait. Je dois faire de gauche à droite.
Hold it.
Ok.
3, 2, 1, and that's 10 seconds. Excellent, Addie. We've done great work here today. I've made note of these settings for the other parts of the station.
So we can move to the transit system now?
The door out is just up the stairs past the flowers.
Ok. Cette fois on peut quitter la pièce. Donc ils veulent réactiver cette IA pour qu'on nous faire des cours de yoga, c'est ça? Ouais. Je suis pas convaincu que ça valait le coup du voyage. Hein.
I'll do my best to get the oxygen mix just right in
Et
the
faut
rest
pas
of the
refermer
station. Just
le
let me know if
masque,
anything is not quite
Addie.
working for you.
You don't suspect Grace was shut down in a human conflict?
Maybe. Or you were abandoned over time.
Abandoned?
We've walked away from a lot of great things. Very cool.
These tracks move transport pods to other levels of this complex.
Let's see if we can get this thing working. You wouldn't build a system like this if you didn't need to move a lot of people, which bodes well for finding something cool at the other end. This must be the transit control room. Looks like people worked here. No power?
There is no current running to this console. Control will be required to reroute power.
And you defied my wishes to tell the solar system of my return.
I'm just looking for answers, boss.
I am the only answer.
Control? Fine. Where's the electrical access for the room?
To the left of the rear door. But as I said, you will need control to reroute power to the console.
This era of electronics is dead simple. Won't hurt to take a look. This looks like a welder's jetpack.
C'est un jetpack.
This one's been disassembled.
Faut
This one
l'équiper.
looks to be in working order.
Connaît l'équipement. Il y a un truc. Ah,
This should show the power status of the room's various
panneau
systems.
d'accès.
Well, nothing in the room is on standby.
As I'd said,
I'm gonna have to look at the breakers. My dad worked on older machines for a living. They're not predictable things. They have quirks.
I sense that there is joy in this work for Addie.
Well, I can tell you there is no joy running to any of those breakers.
Sometimes a good whack will knock something into place.
It's worth a try.
Well, there's your problem right there. Someone's removed the entire power relay.
As I told you.
So why can't Control help us? Isn't he programmed to serve humans?
He's more accustomed to tasks like maintaining power grids across entire planets, while I'm very much attuned to the needs of individuals.
What about you, Logic?
I apparently offer wisdom to the wind.
You activated Control and Empathy.
For all the good that did us.
Is there another configuration we can call on?
Grace's core processors contain only these 3 systems.
Can you combine the systems? Take the edge off Control with a little empathy?
I suppose it's possible, but there's no telling what the outcome of something like that would be.
Could it be any worse than Control?
It can always be worse.
It sounds like a wonderful idea, Addie.
You're right. What do I know? Don't blame me if he turns out to be a murderer.
Addie?
Yep, it's me.
Great. What are we doing again?
We're powering up pods.
So, you want to hotwire this thing?
Yes, please.
All right. Rerouting is good to go. You can meet me at the breaker panel. Go ahead and flip the switches.
You got it, pal.
And I'm Pal?
Sure. We'll call you pal.
Ok, ça marche.
Breakers look good. Now you can push the buttons that turn on the different systems. Power's up. I'll let you do the honors.
En ou j'ai fait tout correctement dès le début, ou alors il n'y avait pas
Go
de
ahead.
sens particulier.
Push the throttle on the console.
Here we go.
Oh, that's not good. I'm so sorry, Addie. I thought I would have enough power to do this for you. It seems so important for you to ride in a pod.
On a le
I
jetpack.
think the track is just jammed with ice.
Ice? You'd think I would be able to handle a little ice.
It's okay. Is there, some kind of de-icing system or something?
I don't know.
There is not.
All right, let's look for something to deal with the ice. This could be promising.
Would it be heavy enough to smash the ice?
Maybe. But I'm more interested in what that welding gun might do to the ice. All right, pal. Let's try this one on for size.
So, what's it gonna do exactly?
Oh, I think you're gonna like it. This is a welder. See if it still works.
Look at that. A little blue light.
That's not gonna cut it. Are you able to control this?
For you, I could definitely try.
Can you open the fuel throttle to the torch?
Okay.
Ok.
Whoa.
Wow.
I like that. What is it?
That's called an icebreaker, pal. Any idea where the flight controls are?
Someone removed them.
Okay.
I can take control if you like.
You know how to fly this?
Looks pretty easy. Stuff shoots out the back, you get thrown up in the air.
Oh, okay.
Oh my gosh, it's working. We can fly.
Ça marche.
Easy,
Le
pal.
vol.
Well, where do you want to go?
All right. If you can move me to the pod, we can have a look at the ice.
J'ai pas le contrôle.
And,
par contre. Non.
pal, it's super important that you don't cut the engines or move too fast. I don't want to get hurt.
On va
I know,
dégeler ça, d'accord.
But it's great, isn't it?
Yep. As long as you don't kill me. All right. This should be close enough.
It's so bright and warm.
Just hold me steady.
This is really hard.
Oh, arrête de bouger.
It's these stupid flames are throwing me around. Ugh.
You may want to ease up, Addie. Don't push him too hard.
Ugh.
Short bursts,
I think
Addie.
that's good. Let's have a look at the rest of the track.
You got it. As long as you're not using the fire shooter, flying is pretty easy.
Just keep it up, literally. There's more ice here on the right.
Ouais, sacrée dose de glace.
Whoa, hold it steady.
Sorry. This is awful.
You're quite sadistic, aren't you, Addie?
En fait, plus je tire longtemps, plus c'est instable.
Let's keep
J'ai
going.
l'impression.
On it.
And this last bit here. Now you've got the hang of it.
This is so cool. It's like the best day of my life.
Well, I'm afraid we're almost done.
Calme-toi.
Think that's it? Do you think you can get me back?
Yeah, I know. You got stuff to do.
Ils auraient pu quand même nous laisser le contrôle, hein.
That's fun, pal. We make a good team, right?
Yeah, I like the part where we burn the ice while flying.
Me too. Okay, I'm gonna bring down the pod.
Voilà le pod.
So, where are we heading again?
I will be able to obtain structure schematics once we reach the next level.
You think we'll see any dead bodies?
Hope so.
J'aurais pu mettre des fenêtres, hein. Ok. Là, normalement, on est à un tiers du jeu.
Do you know if the pod system has stops along the way?
It does not. We are arriving at the track terminus now.
Changement d'ambiance. Ça ramouille un peu.
This looks like a settlement. Can't believe how well preserved it is.
You think people could be alive in there?
You should really consider thinking before you speak. And then consider not speaking.
Logic. As long as life support is functional, it's not entirely impossible that someone's taken up here.
On dirait
Or
que ça
they could be
contrôle la
zombies.
météo ici.
Well, that settles it. I'll disable PAL now.
Don't you dare. We might need him.
Donc là, on va faire quoi maintenant comme symbole? On a fait un carré,
Ooh,
une
more
croix.
buttons.
You really are unburdened by intellect, aren't you?
What's the pattern here?
It's the Latin zes.
Huh?
Right, slower processors. You might call it a backwards Z or Z. And you'll need to make it the
Z.
full width and height of the panel.
Un grand Z.
Just having PAL running in the background is making us all a little stupider. Honestly, do you know what backwards is? Do you know what a Z looks like?
C'est pas bon?
If we did switch PAL off, I could always switch him back if we need to burn something. Should we have PAL do this?
Un peu plus petit Z peut-être. Non? C'est des trucs, hein? Non, c'est pas bon. Encore plus petit? Ah, ça ressemble à un 2 maintenant. Non, c'est pas bon. C'est pas bon. On recommence. Voilà, ça ressemble plus à un Z, ça ressemble à un I. Donc c'est pas bon. Elle parle plus. Elle veut pas m'aider, hein. Hein. On a fait le gros Z. C'est pas bon. Qu'est-ce qui va pas? Non, c'est pas ça. Allez, redonne-moi un indice, l'IA là. Quoi c'était? Allô? IA? Pourquoi c'est pas bon? Elle a bien dit un Z. 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 Mhm. Un Z. Je l'ai fait ton Z là. On dirait un 2. Donc c'est pas ça. Euh, On a fait un X, on a fait un carré. On peut même pas revenir en arrière. Euh, Ah, je sais pas trop quoi faire. Réfléchissons un petit peu. Un Z. Mhm. Est-ce qu'il y a un Z en... Comment dire? En... Comme oméga avec le grec, quoi. Peut-être qu'il y a une façon d'écrire le Z autrement. Euh... Je regarde sur le PC en même temps. Z. Euh... Peut-être qu'il faut le faire plus petit, la barre d'en haut. Ouais, là je retire celui-là. Ça ressemble à un 2 là, ça ressemble plus à un Z. Euh... J'ai pas envie d'aller voir la solution du jeu quand même. Ça doit pas être compliqué. Ah, je te l'ai fait ton Z là. Et mon téléphone, je l'entends charger. Chargement complète, chargé, chargement complète. Il fait que de m'avertir qu'il est chargé complètement mon téléphone. Ah la blague. Euh... Ah, c'est chelou. C'est chelou. Je peux pas quitter, je peux rien faire d'autre. Qu'est-ce que ça peut être la solution? Là, franchement, j'ai beau réfléchir, je ne trouve pas la solution là. Z. On a fait son Z. Est-ce qu'il faut le faire à l'envers? On va le mettre à l'envers, mais ça a aucun sens. On est bien d'accord?
There.
Ah bah si. Le Z à l'envers quoi. Ah, mais allô? Peut-être qu'elle l'a dit que c'était à l'envers, mais j'ai pas compris. Bon, on y retourne. Et j'avais cherché la solution sur internet et on dirait que personne n'a fait la solution du jeu sur internet. Délire.
I've been thinking about why anyone would want Grace to be shut down. And I wonder if there could have been a flaw in her base programming.
Like what?
Control and empathy programming divert valuable processing power away from cognitive ability.
Which way am I going?
The big colorful doors.
Oh long, j'ai pensé à le faire à l'envers.
As I was
quoi.
saying, empathy interferes with practical decision making. Control is a 4-year-old.
You are a 4-year-old.
Please stop. It says Keeper Rosaline.
She looks like a keeper.
She's pretty.
What do you suppose a keeper is?
It must have been a revered title if a statue was made for her.
Huh. Spire caretaker, maybe.
Une pierre de rosée. Encore un code. Ici.
The settlement is through the large doors behind you. You want the large doors.
La grosse porte, ok.
The key to restoring Grace may be about understanding her potential flaws.
Are you going to tell me the pattern?
You think we're flaws?
Having a few flaws is perfectly all right.
Logic sounds jealous to me.
Jealous? Of what? You can't even open doors without me.
Where are you going with this?
We'll talk again once you can tell me who Everett is. Figure that out, and I'll grant you access to the main elevator.
Grant me access? Logic. Seriously?
She has no way to do things without your help. It must be frustrating for her.
Could we create another hybrid? Logic and empathy?
Yeah. Like how you made me. I could give it a try.
Stop, stop, stop. You'll burn the place down. I will run a logic and empathy configuration as long as you promise never to allow Pal here to do any reconfiguring of our processing.
Deal.
I don't think that smart lady likes me very much.
Le code avec
Hello,
ça.
Addie. Where do you want to start?
Can we start with the security door to the settlement elevator?
They are encrypted. It would take me days to work out the pattern.
Is there any other way into the settlement?
There is a room off to the side that does not have an encrypted entry. Perhaps we'll find something helpful there.
Là, ça ressemble à un triangle sur la droite. Avec la planète au centre et les lunes qui forment un triangle. Ok. Là, je dois essayer d'ouvrir la petite porte, c'est ça?
So you can open these ones?
They have
Ouais,
simple
avec six boutons, ouais.
passcodes. I can retrieve and play back for you. You will need to enter the sequence manually.
Facile.
This looks like another control room. Do you know what this is?
It
C'est-à-dire qu'on
appears to
peut
be
mettre
some
ça
sort
dans
of
un téléphone
interface from which
portable
humans
de
can track
notre époque.
activity within the spire. Elements of the interface are missing. I'm not sure
Mais dans
I
le
can
futur, il
access
faut
it.
revenir en arrière.
I think my comm device can be calibrated to connect.
Of course, yes. Let's give that a try.
These are data banks?
Yes, they contain flight records to and from the spire.
Anything interesting about the records?
The bookings seem to be coming from internal servers, meaning the trip planning and coordination is all done
Ça, c'est
here.
une map.
Where are people traveling from?
Everywhere. Destinations seem very evenly distributed throughout the solar system.
Pas compliqué à
Looks
lire,
like the
cette map,
image
hein.
from the spire entrance. This must be the spire structure. We must be in this section here. Can you tell me where Grace's processors are located?
You would need to access the console.
More missing equipment.
This looks carefully removed. There are records here of people who have occupied the rooms over the years. You got it.
Do we know the spire's capacity?
50
got it.
units. There it is. There are millions
There
of
it
names
is.
here.
Millions.
Well done.
Ouais,
A million
bah,
people cycled through here. No one could have lived here that long.
A few weeks at most, by my estimates.
qui peut répondre,
Okay, I found
Super.
record of an Everett who stayed on the 3rd floor. Unlike other visitors, there is no record of him leaving the spire.
Un nouveau
So,
succès.
Everett was a worker or a colonist who lived here. Is that enough for you, Logic?
Hardly. It does nothing to explain why Grace would be calling to him.
So I'll need to find a way up to the 3rd floor.
Perhaps we can find one on the spire map.
All right. What are we looking for?
Grace processors are located at the top of the structure, as might be expected. There is also a massive radio beacon.
The beacon is the key, Addie. You must go now to activate the beacon to call the masses back to the spire.
Just a few minutes ago, you wanted me to leave on my ship.
The beacon is the answer. It has always been the answer.
Okay.
On
Can
peut activer
you
le beacon.
get me to the beacon then? Control?
Control will not be able to override security.
Then we need to learn more about Everett.
Here's the room where Everett once stayed.
Ooh, maybe we can see it from the balcony.
Possibly, but I don't see a viable route to get there.
Je suis sur le balcon. Y a rien d'intéressant. À part un petit bois. Sans trop
I
d'intérêt.
can see apartments.
Those are on level 2.
Well,
Les appartements.
if we can get to that balcony, maybe we can find a way to level 3.
Ah, je dois monter là-haut.
I can climb this.
I suppose.
I don't see many other options.
Ça, je crois que je l'avais vu dans le trailer du jeu. Le passage sur la poutre. Ici, ouais. Ça va s'écrouler, si je me souviens
It's
bien.
pretty much a straight shot across. Looks sturdy enough.
Even in low G, a fall could result in an injury.
I've already fallen a few times from this height.
Careful, Addie. If you broke a leg, how would you get back to your ship?
You sound like my mom. Whoa.
Addie! Addie! Are you
Heureusement que la
okay?
gravité est pas trop forte.
I'm fine, but you can't be yelling things while I'm trying to cross.
So,
On doit
you're going to
recommencer.
try again after that? You nearly broke your neck, Addie.
Yep, you're totally my mom.
Falling's kind of fun.
D'un
It's
côté, il y
like
avait un truc
really short
peut-être
form.
à fouiller en bas. Il est peut-être un peu trop pressé de passer ce passage. Il n'y avait pas un truc intéressant? Non. On ça a l'air d'aller. On est obligé de
Please,
faire
be
celui-là.
careful. This is
Il
so
faut y aller
cool.
doucement, c'est ça?
Quiet, please.
Just concentrate on your breathing.
Un pas après l'autre. Un pas après l'autre.
Yikes.
This is so
Ok,
exciting.
il faut que je germe.
Breathe, Addie.
On peut avancer.
Very good. Now keep walking forward.
I can't watch.
Allez, Adi, tu peux le faire.
I knew you could do it.
You should really try running across next time.
I'm hoping there won't be a next time.
It'd be faster, too.
Looks pretty empty. Maybe the rooms were for short work contracts.
2-week work contracts?
Donc un endroit
Or
pour
were people
méditer,
just
on
visiting
dirait.
the spire? This looks like a shrine.
To honor Grace?
That looks like her symbol. People sat or knelt here.
This was a place for meditation.
J'avais compris. Moi, si j'étais Adi, je ferais un petit somme. Hein.
Some weird little lavatory.
They've changed much over the years.
Not really. I've seen weirder. I've seen ones where people sat on
ressemble.
ceramic bowls of water.
If they pooped in the water, what did they drink?
Nouveau succès.
Well, check out the rooms, I guess. Look for a way to the next level?
Encore une porte avec un code.
I light up the pattern for you.
Facile. On ira en haut après.
Another empty bedroom.
Ah bah c'est une autre chambre. Il n'y a aucun intérêt de venir ici alors. Ouais, ça n'a pas l'air d'être utile. Allons à l'étage. Nouveau
Here's the
pattern.
code.
Et here's the code. Encore une piole.
Not much here either.
Ouais, y a rien.
Someone's
pas fait.
made off with the mattress?
As a souvenir, maybe.
Travel packs.
So visitors brought in their own food.
They really didn't stay for long then. It's like they were on pilgrimages.
C'est tout. Ah, il y a une fenêtre. Porte-fenêtre. Hop,
Here we
on va
go.
monter là-haut. Ah, on est pas loin de la moitié du jeu
We still
normalement.
have one level to go.
Hey, there's another beam here. I think it's a shortcut.
It is more direct, but I wouldn't advise it. You're better off finding a way through the apartments. Besides, I know how much you like to explore.
Might be worth it.
It's a lot farther down. Are you sure?
Avant d'y aller, on va quand même visiter le coin. Il y a encore une chambre.
I guess if you don't want to do the beam stuff, that's okay.
Here's the code.
C'est plus compliqué. Plus compliqué, mais tout aussi
I
simple.
don't see any signs of unrest or violence.
And they left little behind.
Donc il n'y a rien ici. Ah, si. il y a-
What are these?
From what I can tell, they're audio recordings.
Of what, I wonder?
We would require a playback
Non, mais
device to
sérieusement,
learn
quoi,
more.
sur une autre
There
planète
may
et
be a way to
communiquer
access
avec
the recording through your wrist communicator
système de
with the
tube
aid
à
of a
pression.
signal amplifier. But that would only be possible by adding an element of control to my logic processing capabilities.
So you need to create a control and logic configuration.
Like a little brother?
Well, it's the only combination left. May as well, Mom.
All right. Here we go.
Hello?
à droite.
Maybe he's sleeping.
So you require a tool upgrade.
It's a boy.
We were hoping you could set up my comm device to help play back recordings.
Already done. Just hold your device up to the canister.
Where did these go to?
This entire settlement is connected to a vacuum tube system. From what I can tell, they are headed in one direction, the top of the spire.
You will be able to access the recording the same way you've been connecting to other systems.
Okay.
Hey, Grace. So I'm pretty sure I was the youngest person on the flight here, and the only Darksider, which was a bit of a surprise. My friends are still sending me halos on what to wish for, mostly stupid suggestions. And my parents made me promise to not waste it on something boyfriend-related, which I agree would also be stupid. So, here it goes. I wish for the lunar terraform to be finished. We're lucky enough to be in the dome, but thousands of kids are still stuck in the tunnels, and their families don't have enough money to take Earth trips. So they've never really been in a space wider than 3 meters without a pea suit, which really sucks. So, whatever you can do to make that happen would be great. Thanks, Grace.
I'd hate to tell her, but the terraform never happened. People came here to make wishes?
For Grace to grant?
I'm unclear how she would go about granting the wishes of so many visitors.
Donc elle parlait de la terraformation de la Lune et on apprend que en fait ça n'a jamais été réalisé. Ok. Donc je crois qu'on a fini avec cette pièce.
So, what should we call the new config?
I do not require a name.
Might make it easier if you had one.
I will let you know if a suitable name occurs to me.
I'll try to think of some
C'est
too.
ouvert là-bas.
Here you go.
Ah, il y a un peu de dégâts ici.
Someone tore this apart.
And took the pieces somewhere?
You're right. That's certainly interesting. All the rooms have these tubes.
Bon bah c'est tout.
Someone's removed the keypad. I can't help but feel there's an organized effort to dismantle parts of the spire. Doesn't seem hidden enough to be sabotage. And it's too precise to be random vandalism.
What about Tomb Raiders?
I considered that. But they've left most of the valuable stuff. Figure this was left here as a token. Or an offering?
Des créatures.
All right.
Hello, Grace. This is Madeleine Torre. I'd hoped this trip would be my chance to connect with others who care about you. Now, I'm not sure anyone takes these wishes seriously anymore. So, that's my wish. Help me find someone. Someone who loves you as much as I do.
Huh.
C'est une femme qui
That's
cherche l'amour.
interesting.
She sounded lonely.
Bon, je crois qu'on a fini avec cette pièce. Hein. Ah, on peut monter là-haut. Bah allons-y.
Another way up.
Mais en bas il y avait un endroit où on pouvait passer avec la passerelle aussi. J'ai peur de louper des trucs. Vérifions.
Oh, I've got one! We can name him Pal Jr.
I was thinking something that sums up what he does.
I can do many things. Pretty much anything you require.
So you're a jack of all
Bon, tant
trades.
qu'on est là, autant
So we
faire
could
ça
call you
maintenant.
Jack.
What do you think of that, Jack?
I will answer to Jack then, if you like.
encore haut, hein. Vraiment grand.
This is level 3, Addie.
Let's look for evidence of Everett. What's the code?
Of course.
I am able to enter the codes directly if you would like.
Let her do it on her own, if she wants.
Any way of knowing if this was Everett's room?
The records only give the level. We'll just have to look around.
Ah, pas de tube ici. Ah, il est là.
Let's try this one.
Hello, Grace. I've thought much about what I'd say when I got here. I know it's important for my parents that I make my wish count. So, I guess I wish for them to be proud of me. Thank you, Grace.
Ok, je crois qu'il y en a un autre au-dessus.
Hey, Grace. I really don't know why you would choose me. I guess no one really knows why they're called to the spire, but I'm greatly honored. At my age, I thought
That's all I can recover from this one.
Sounds like Grace chose who came here.
That explains why Grace arranged all the flights to and from the spire. She was in control of it all.
Ok, on n'a rien appris de très intéressant. Combat, il n'y a rien. De ce côté-là, une autre porte.
Here you go.
There we go.
Ah, graffiti. Avec leur langage.
I don't
bizarre.
recognize these words. They look like technical or medical terms. A list of supplies, maybe.
Or a list of demands.
Are we allowed to draw on the windows here?
Certainly not. The people who did this were looking for trouble.
C'est du cyrillique peut-être.
Only Grace. They were tracking something here. Terracycles, maybe?
They'd lost sync with Earth.
Or the spire lost power.
Moi, ça a l'air tout. Ah.
This is Mark Anthony Wong, and I was called to Grace from Earth Station Phoenix. Not sure if anyone will hear this, but the whole tube system is shut down right now. People are not happy, and I'm getting a little scared, to be honest. I'll be locking myself in until the shuttle returns, and I'm leaving this in case something really bad happens.
That's a little ominous.
Ok. Il y a toujours un panneau là-bas pour ouvrir la porte.
Here you go.
That's it. Hey, what happened to the lights?
I believe Control has turned them off, Addie.
Not cool, boss. Control? Unbelievable.
Tout est cassé.
Look how beat up this is.
It must have been done in anger.
I believe fear also played a part here.
Hey, the tube system is no longer accepting wishes. If anyone knows how to reach Keeper Everett, please let him know.
Keeper Everett.
It sounds like keepers were spire caretakers.
When did Everett stay on this floor?
2955.
That's 20 years before this message was recorded.
So he stayed on after his visit and became a keeper? Why was there no record of that?
I would think answers lie at the other end of these vacuum tubes.
From what I can tell, the tube system runs through the central elevator shaft.
Logic? You gonna let us in, considering we know Everett was a keeper?
But do you know what a keeper is?
We'll need access to the elevator to learn more.
Ah, a classic paradox.
Logic.
Fine. If you're done snooping around, I will grant you access to the elevator.
Or you could uncover more canisters and learn more about the people who came here.
Reaching the beacon is the priority. You must move on. Logic will open the way to the beacon. You must go to the elevator.
Hold your
Oh,
horses.
d'abord scanner ça vite fait, c'est bon. On n'est pas pressé.
I've been instructed by Grace to make a wish. Not something big and altruistic, not for someone else, but for me. A real, honest wish, my heart's true desire. Honestly, this long flight to the middle of nowhere, months without my family, missing the harvest with a per diem that barely covers expenses, for what? Some mystical song and dance that makes us feel like we're somehow part of this robot theocracy. This whole thing, the temple, the hushed tones, the awe that people seem to show this place is ridiculous. My honest wish is to be left alone long enough to actually make some headway on the farm and pull in a decent crop.
It doesn't sound like everyone was happy to come here.
For Grace to understand what made people unhappy was just as important as knowing what made them content.
Bon, bah, je crois qu'on va s'arrêter là pour cet épisode découverte et on finira le jeu au prochain épisode. Donc, tout ça, on l'a déjà fait, hein. Attends. On a été là? J'ai un doute.
Here you go.
Non. Ce code là, on l'a pas fait.
Perfect.
Ok, il y en a encore deux à scanner. Et une photo là-bas.
Why do you insist on defying me?
I'm starting to enjoy it.
Parce que moi j'aime bien.
Doubt you'll ever
Super,
get this
mon gars.
message, Grace. We've been waiting weeks now without one. I hope Keeper Everett is okay. I've been told his sermons are wonderful. And I hope he will be able to deliver the word of grace again soon. Make things work. I'd like you to know that we still love you and think about you. Great comfort to our family over the years. We've all made them for us. With your wisdom, you are missed.
So Grace would receive wishes and then leave people with instruction in the form of sermons. Could that really be all there was to it?
Ideas are powerful. Perhaps just returning with a more enlightened perspective was enough to move society toward common goals.
Highly unlikely. Grace must have had some control over planetary infrastructure, if she was to have had the influence you suspect.
I'm here, Grace. Najisha, she was so excited when I got the summons. We talked about this for months, who we could help, who was most deserving. She honestly believed we could come up with a wish that could make everything perfect. Thank you for choosing me. And thank you for letting me delay coming here. I want to be true to her memory, her wishes, her unlimited love for humanity. But my only wish, the only thought I have, is to have her back. I want her back.
There couldn't have actually been anything Grace could have done for her.
Grace allowed her to voice her grief.
That must be Najisha.
Pas de photo. Plutôt une gravure. Ok. Bon bah. Walou walou. On va aller devant l'ascenseur. Et on va s'arrêter là pour cet épisode. Bon, c'est un jeu super, super intéressant. Un petit jeu Game Pass qui fait plaisir. Et pour ceux qui aiment chasser les succès, bah, c'est un jeu idéal pour ça. Hein. Vous allez avoir tous les succès assez rapidement, en 3 heures de temps de jeu. Donc on va s'arrêter juste devant cette porte, ok? Walou, parfait. Ah merci à tous d'avoir regardé cette vidéo. Je compte sur vous pour le petit pouce, vous abonner et un petit commentaire pour faire un petit commentaire, ça fait toujours plaisir. Et à très bientôt pour la suite de notre aventure sur Return to Grace. Je ferai l'épisode ce soir je pense, donc d'ici demain il sera disponible. On est le 27 février, donc à partir de demain vous aurez les 2 épisodes sur ma chaîne. Allez, je vous dis à très bientôt, bonne journée, bonne semaine et à très vite. Salut. Bye.